Hey, very good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for registering for this webinar and also for taking some time out of your schedule and being a part of this webinar as well. Okay, so my name is Praveen, and I'm one of the lead technical consultants for the AD Solutions team here. So before we get into the agenda today, would be great if you guys can take about a couple of seconds and please let me know if you can hear me better and if you can see my screen better over the chat window. That'll be very helpful. Great. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much for that. So now let's get into the agenda today. So we are going to discuss about a few options within the product, a few features which we think they are underrated, meaning like not all of the customers are using that to the fullest. Right? So what we're going to discuss about today is the full potential about the account lockout analyzer. So assuming, most of you guys who joined the webinar today will be our existing customers. But if you have a few evaluators as well, so you will be using the account lock analyzer a lot. But again, there are a few more features which you're not using yet. So we're going to discuss about that today. And once you're done with that, everyone would have configured alerts to let you know whenever something happens. But there is an option where you can call a script over there, but most of the customers are not using it as of now. So we're going to discuss about the points like why will it be advisable to have scripts and what kind of alerts we can configure with scripts over there. So once we're done with that, we're going to discuss about like one single report which can get you an information about all the administrative user actions within the Active Directory, and then most of the admins will have an nightmare with GPOs, with service accounts being used in multiple computers. So we're going to discuss about all that today. Okay. So diving right into the agenda today. Before that, I'm just going to tell you about the latest version of ADAudit Plus. I know most of you guys, will be on the latest version right now, but if any one of you guys are not yet on the latest version, please get it upgraded. So just go to adauditplus.com and just go to the download link. So once you're there, please scroll down and click on Service Pack. And the latest version as of now is 6010. So please enter whatever build number you're in, for example, 5100, and you will be able to download the requested service packs over there. Okay. So if you guys have any trouble or if you want to upgrade to the latest version, please drop us an email, drop me an email or the team here an email. We will be more than happy to remote into your system and get the product upgraded. Okay. So with that, we're gonna dive directly into the features today. So the first one, we're gonna talk about the account lockout analyzer, right? So most of you guys, as you will use the product to track the anomalies happening in the logon failures over there. So a lot of people will be complaining their account is getting frequently locked out, right? That happens in every domain. Every single domain has the problem. Right. So ADAudit Plus, has we have put in like a lot of efforts in identifying lockouts and tracking the logon failures over there. So why is that important? Because let's say, for example, in the past 1 hour or 2 hours, my account is failing for multiple times, like 10 or 15 times over here. So we have two possibilities. One, it could be a brute force. Someone is trying to get into your domain, right? So a system is just infected in a computer. A malware has been planted. Someone is running a script and and trying to hack in your account with multiple passwords over there. That's the possibility number one. Or number two, that's the most painful for your admins, right? So that is stale passwords. Users have a lot of components running with the user accounts, but they do not change their password on all these components when when the password policy come in. So we're going to look into both these options. So the first one, the account lockout analyzer. So in this case, I want to make sure why my account is failing these many times, why my account is actually getting locked out these many times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the report. It's going to tell me like who is failing the auth and what computer he was using. So you guys would have been using this all this time. When you click the details button, the product will scan that particular computer if the server is up and running, you will get that info. I believe someone just turned my server down. Actually, I'll get that rectified. So what will happen is the product is going to scan all these components on that particular server, and it's going to bring you information. If any one of the servers is using your service account or the user's account, it's going to list that service account, service's name over there. I'll get you that info shortly. Okay, so the same applies for all these components over there. If the user has any scheduled tasks created in his account name, or if he has any network drives being mapped over there, if he remotes into another computer, everything is going to be listed over here. Okay. So which one, I think that you guys are not using, to the full edge is this one, the applications. So what happens is, let's say, I installed a product today, a third-party application. Okay. So I have given my account in the console mode over there. It is not running as a service, but I have given my account within the application. So if that is the reason for the frequent lockout, none of these components will be able to tell that to you. So in that case, it's going to come from a workstation, right? So most of you guys will have workstation add-on within the product. And if you have configured that workstation within the product, when you click the button over here, the product is going to track the local logons that happen on that particular workstation, and it's going to tell you which process triggered that failure as well. So in this case, it will be very helpful for people, for you guys to track which process is triggering that authentication failure over there. Okay, so that's all with the account login analyzer. So if any one of you guys are not using the workstation add-on, you can just drop me an email at the end of the session. I'll be more than happy to get you a trial license, for about a month, just for the workstations, so you can test it out, and then you can let me know your feedback. Okay, so that is all with the lockout analyzer. Now coming to the next one, using scripts within alerts. So let's say this is not a stale password. It's a brute force. Someone is trying to get into your domain. You have an alert schedule to let you know whenever a failure happens. Like let's say I'm creating an alert over here to let me know whenever a failure happens. Okay, an authentication failure happens over here. That's it. So event type, it's going to be failure for me. So now the product will drop me an email or drop me an SMS if I have an SMS gateway whenever a failure happens on the domain, right? That's perfect. So I'm going to give a threshold as well. If 10 events, if 10 failures happen within 1 minute, and if that happens for the same user account, or if that authentication failure comes from the same IP address, then drop me an email. This is a good feature, because let's say if 10 failures happen on my account within a minute, that could be a brute force. If 10 failures for 10 different people happen within a minute from one particular IP, that could be a passive spray attack over there. So selecting the threshold will be very helpful. So if this anomaly happens, the product will drop you an email, will drop you an SMS. That is great. But what if this happens on a weekend, on a Saturday night, so let's say, for example? And as you guys know, let's say you have an 8-character password, which most of you wouldn't have at this time. But let's say you still have that, it's going to take a maximum of 4 to 5 hours for the attack to be a successful one. So that's the reason, I'm asking you guys and I'm requesting you guys to use this option. Call some scripts over here. We have some basic batch files. You can either call a batch file, a PowerShell, or a VB command over here. So we have some basic ones like to disable an Active Directory account, to shut down a computer, to take a computer off the network, and some basic ones. If you guys want those basic batch files, you can drop us an email, and I'll be more than happy to send it to you. So let's say in this case, I have a batch file which can disable an Active Directory account, and also it can shut down a computer. So what's going to happen is if someone infects my computer and is trying to get into the domain with my account, my computer will be shut down and my account will be disabled in Active Directory. So the product helps you stop an attack right at the point when it was happening, just because of the script option over there. And even if the attacker moves parallel within the domain, let's say another computer gets compromised and another account gets compromised over there, the same is going to happen for that computer and for that account as well. So the product is going to help you block any attacks, if you call some scripts on any alert profiles over here. Okay, so it'll be great if you guys can take some time today or whenever you're free. Just put in some script files over here and test them out. You can do anything over there. Let's say a particular person. Guys, can you hear me now? Perfect. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm not too sure what exactly happened. So sorry about it. I just disconnected the audio and connected back again. Thank you for letting me know. Great. So we're done with the account lock analyzer, and we're done with the usage of scripts within alerts over there. So now moving into the administrative user actions. Okay, so this report, like you guys use all these columns, or all these reports, all these categories, mostly. Let's say whenever someone gets added into a domain admin group, you go to the group management, you exactly pick the report. What do you want? You see that, right? When someone changes, a user object's attribute, you go to the user object management, you see what exactly got modified over there. That's all fine. But again, what if you can bring all this together in one window? If any modification happens on your admin users, that should be tracked perfectly. So all you gotta do is go to the account management and click on administrative user actions. So there you have all your admin users, the out of the box admin users, and what modification happened on them and who made the modification. For example, like this is a service account. I added it to the domain admins group. So all the changes which happened on that particular account for the past 30 days and who made all those changes. And you get to know what was that change exactly. So take my account for example. 11 changes were made on my account, and everything, I made all of them actually. So this is something you gotta track because your admin account is something very important. You gotta track all the changes that are happening to your admin accounts over there, because you guys might have like a lot of out of the box admin accounts, or you can have a lot of custom admin groups, a lot of custom admin accounts as well. So I would recommend you guys, to create a schedule report, because if you are an environment, let's say you have a lot of admin users, if you create an alert to let you know whenever something modifies in your admin account, that's gonna flood the email box, right? So I would recommend you schedule a report at least once a week to know what's exactly happening. So you can just go to the administrative user actions over here and click on add to and click on schedule this report. So just give a name and description for this report and choose a date and time, whatever the frequency, whenever you want the report to run. And then you have two options. Either check the box, so the product will drop you an email with a zip file as an attachment, or you can uncheck the box and choose the format over here. The product will generate the report in that format and put it in whatever location I give you here. Provided the service account you have configured with an ADAudit has read and write privilege on that location. That is all is required. Okay, so put the schedule reports to use. Schedule whatever reports you want. Let's say you gotta track the changes happening to your domain admins group. Schedule that report and run at least once a week, or like once a month, to make sure that you're on top of the changes happening to your admin groups over there. Okay? So that, trust me, like schedule these administrative user actions, and that might help you in a lot of cases. Okay? Now the next one, inventory of where your service accounts are being used. This is again, a nightmare. For example, let's say I have hundreds of servers and I have like tens of applications over there which are using a lot of service accounts, right? And we gotta accept this. We do not reset the password for service account that frequent just to make sure the applications are not going down, right? But for compliance, again, we gotta do that once in a while. We have to reset the password for the service accounts as well. So let's say you're choosing to reset the password for your service account right now. You know where where it relies. But again, it'll be great if you have an inventory, a list of services, a list of server names where that service account is running. So you can go ahead and manually change the password once you're done with the reset. Right? So what you have to do is, again, go to the ports tab and expand the user management, and they have user services. So what you got to do here is you have to select the service account. So let's say, let's imagine mine as the service account over here. And you just have to choose all the computers in the domain. I know where it's running, so I'm just choosing that and I'm just hitting run. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. This shouldn't have happened. I'm so sorry about this. I believe my PC just went down. Okay, so sorry, guys. Just a moment. It'll be done. Yep, there we go. I just got it done. So sorry. So sorry about that, guys. I had to bring it up again. So you just have to go to user services and click on add users. And let me just bring up my account, considering mine as a service account over here. And I'm going to target all the computers in my domain. So, and I'm just going to hit run. So once that's done, it's going to bring up the list of servers, the list of computers, and the list of services that are using my account over there, meaning the service account over there. For example, over here, the account name, the machine name, what service is using that service account, the display name, the path, what's the status of the service, and everything. Right. So this will come handy in a lot of cases. So number one is you can use it for service accounts. You can make a clean service account password reset. And number two, if someone gets out of the office, let's say you offboard people, you just want to make sure they are not a pain for you in the future on like some bad username, logon failures. So you can make sure that account is not running in any of the services in your domain. So if any, you can just go ahead and manually remove them. So trust me, that will be helpful in some cases. Okay, right. So the next one, what I'm going to talk to you about is like, you have like 250 plus scan reports. That's perfect. But again, you have option to schedule reports and you have options to customize reports for your own need, for your organization's need, right? So I would recommend you guys to, play with custom reports, create a lot of custom reports for your interest. So, I'm just going to give you like one case. Let's say, for example, you have one canned report within the product, which is log on peak, hour usage. So this gets you the information about like all the accounts over there, right? So, but let's say you're just worried about your admin accounts over there. You want a report. You want a graph of the same kind, which can give you information about your admin users log on hours alone over there, peak usage. So what you have to do is you'll have to customize the existing report for that. So just go to reports and click on custom reports over there. Now I have a lot of reports, so just click on create a custom report and choose all the categories whatever you want. Let's say log on success, that is what I want. Log on success for admin users. Okay. And then choose whatever view you want, the graphical view or tabular view, anything. So just gonna hit next. And here is where we add the filters. So I'm gonna add like username equals, and I'm gonna choose the group for which I want the report for. Okay, that's it. That's it. So once you have created the reports, you can either go here and click on view reports, or you can go to the normal tab, the reports tab, and scroll to the last bottom where you have the my reports. And there you will have the report whatever you created with a neat view for yourself. Okay. So I would recommend you like create a lot of reports, like whatever is of your interest. For example, this one is what we saw earlier. Log on peak hour usage for all the users, but we customized it only for the admin users over there. So play around with the reports. Like if you guys have any specific requirements, please send them across. Like any specific requirements to schedule reports or customer report, customize reports or create alerts, we will be more than happy to help you with that. Please drop us an email and we can help you with that. Okay. So the next one, this is not something which most of the guys are not using. This is one of the best features of the product. But again, I want to bring this up: GPO auditing. I know that like most of the admins are frustrated with GPOs because you have a lot of settings over there, and changes to your group policy objects are very critical. You got to track everything in real time because let's say an attacker gets in, if his intention is to get the network down, one perfect change on a GPO is more than enough to get that done. Right. So for that, as you guys know, we have like neat reports on GPOs recently created, deleted, modified, get you a GPO history. Perfect. It looks neat, but this is not enough. You have like 5,000 plus 6,000 plus settings in one GPO. So we need something beyond this, for some your critical settings over there. It'll be great if something can tell you what exactly got modified, what was the old value, and what is the new value. So that is GPU settings. And why I'm bringing this up, because to have this GPU settings work, you have to install, enable the GPMZ feature on the server where you have ADAudit Plus install. So if any one of you guys are not, enable GPMG on the server, I would recommend you guys, I would request you guys to do it today. You got to be on the professional license of ADAudit Plus to get this report. So if you're, please go ahead, enable GPMG, and then you will start these reports populating perfect. Okay. So what happens in the background is we talk to the group policies through the GPMZ. We take a copy of them. We verify it with the previous copy, whatever we have, and we tell you exactly what got changed. So let's say, for example, I'm making a modification to the account lockup policy, the threshold, to make sure no one in the domain gets locked over there. Okay, so this report is going to tell that GPO was modified in real time, but in about a minute's time, within a minute, the other setting, the GPO setting change is going to correlate all this information, and it's exactly going to tell you like what policy was modified, when was it modified, who modified it, and when you click the show details button over here, it's going to tell you exactly what setting was modified, what was the old value, and what is the new value as well. This is great. Like if you get to know what exactly got modified, and if that's not an approved change, for you, you can go ahead and revert it immediately. That's manual, but again, you know what you got to change. You know what you have to revert. So that's simple. So please, just go ahead, enable GPMZ, and put these reports to use today. And the other one is you just make sure this is the policy which got modified. You want to know what are the other settings on the group policy at the moment. So when I click on the hyperlink, it's going to open up, it's going to bring up the entire group policies, settings for you over here. So you can get an idea what are all these settings available in that group policy. Okay. So put these reports to use whenever you get a chance and whenever you get some time to use that. Okay. So the next one we're going to talk about is printer auditing, printer server auditing. So why I'm bringing this up today is because all of you guys or most of you guys will have will be auditing the domain controllers over there. You will be auditing a file service, so you get to know when an anomaly happens. Whenever someone puts in a lot of bad password, yes, you know about it. Whenever someone gets added into a group, yes, you know about it. And whenever someone gives permission to a folder manually, yes, ADAudit Plus can tell you about that as well. Folder permission changes. You guys know that probably already. But so you can track the anomalies over there, but not entirely. Let's say I belong to the finance team. I already have access to the files and folders over there. I'm not copying them because if I copy, you will find me. So I'm not copying them, but instead I'm just using the company's printer and I'm printing all the documents over there, whatever I want. So you have to audit this as well. So that is the reason I would recommend you guys to license your printer server with an ADAudit Plus, configure it, and put this report to use, printer auditing. So you will get to know who is printing, what document, what's the size of the document, how many copies he has printed, through what printer, what computer he was using, all these information. So I actually logged onto the server, which is the printer server, and it took this printouts, and I just used the, PDF printer. So the same applies. So whoever prints whatever document, whatever the number of pages, we get that information for you. So we also get you the user-based reports, who's the top user and how many documents is printed. We get you this, reports on the printer usage. Let's say this printer has printed 2 copies today, and in total, like how many copies, in total, how many pages, and in total, what's the size of the documents over there and the printer-based reports. So this gives you an entire insight on what's happening on your printers as well. So this is, I would say a complete infosec because you know where your data is moving, right from someone gets into the domain to where whatever permission gets changed to your folders, files being read, copied, deleted, and even if someone prints some company critical documents, you know about it. So this, I would say, a complete infosec. Okay. So yeah, talking about folders, shared folders, so we miss one thing a lot because when something happens to your shared folders, let's say I create a document, I delete a document, you guys are auditing it. That is perfect. I believe most of you would have licensed the file service with an ADAudit Plus, and you will be seeing the reports already. If not, I would recommend you to get that done. Okay, because let's say a critical folders permission was modified, you have to have an in place tool to let you know what exactly got modified, because there might be a lot of DACLs that just got modified over there. But ADAudit Plus tells that in real time what got modified. Let me take you there. So when I click on the permissions modified, it's going to tell you exactly what permission was modified in that instance, so you can revert it if that's not an approved one immediately. An ADAudit can also get you the old and new values. Okay, so this again, that's fine. So you audit everything, whatever is happening in your network chat folders, you do audit it. But let's say, for example, there is a folder which is not shared and which should not be shared, and someone has just shared it right now. So how do I track it? Because we miss on one of the important reports, that is uh, over here, network share auditing. So let's say I have a folder which has some company critical documents and that shouldn't be shared on the network. Someone goes ahead and shares it. I want to be notified about it. So this one can help you with that. Network shares added will tell you exactly what server, what's the path, who shared it, and what's the folder's name and when did this exactly happen. Right. So I went ahead and made the SQL instance folder a shared folder, a network shared folder today. So this will be great. You can create like custom reports to get to understand how many shared folders got added in a domain, in a week or in a month if you guys want it. So the same applies for network shares being added, shares being changed, modified, and shares being deleted as well. Okay, so I would recommend you guys to put all of these to use. So these are something, a few reports what came to my mind to talk about, because the complete intention is to make you guys use the product to its fullest. right? So you have to take advantage of all the reports available within ADAudit Plus. That is what my intention is. So if you guys think of something else, some of the reports, if you guys have any questions on, or any questions or comments or quotes, whatever you want, just drop me or drop our team an email over here. We'll be more than happy to help you. Okay. So the things that we discussed today will be we saw about the account locket analyzer. And excuse me over there, I told you that I will show you how the locket analyzer looks like. I just brought the DC up, so it should be coming in. So this is how it looks like. So when I click the details, the product is going to scan the computer where the alt actually came from, and it's going to tell you exactly which in any one of these components are holding a username and password or not over there. So in this case, that is a service running on that computer, ADAudit service with my user account. That could be the problem. Okay? So this was not working as the DC was down, but it is now actually. Okay. So coming back to the summary again, so we saw about the account locket analyzer and usage of scripts in alerts. So if you have any scenarios, and if you want the basic scripts from us, like to disable an account or to shut down a computer, you can drop us an email and I'll be more than happy to send it across to you. Okay. So please put all these reports to use. And if you guys are not having any add-ons, for example, if someone is missing any workstation add-on, member server add-ons, or you're not doing any file system auditing, file server auditing, and if you're still interested in doing it, please drop me an email. I'll be more than happy to get you a short trial, and I'll be more than happy to assist you from that as well on any questions. Okay. So, and on top of that, I just want to inform you guys because a lot of customers are coming to us during the renewals for adding a lot of components like add-ons to the product or looking into other managed engine solutions as well, AD solutions like AD Manager or something else. So, for all of you, I just want to tell you that we are running some year-end specials at the moment. So you can drop me an email at any point of time. I'm going to bring my email on the screen on the next slide. So before that, I just want a small help from you guys. I'm gonna send you a quick poll, just two questions on your screen. Please take like 10 seconds out of your time and please answer them for me. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so the first poll is coming on your screen right now. Okay, thank you for that. Now, done with that. Now I'm just sending the second question. Great. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time over there. So the last one, talking about the offers, the year-end discounts. What I'm going to do is, we have just pinged you a link on a window, on the chat window. If someone wants to take advantage of this offer which is running, please take advantage. Send an email to me, or please click on the link and put it in your request. We will be more than happy to put together a perfect code for you. Okay. So coming back to today's session, thank you so much all of you for joining, and I hope it was good. So this is my email. In case of any questions or any comments, please drop me an email, or any help needed, drop me an email, or the support here an email. We will be more than happy to help you. Thank you so much once again, guys. I wish you have a great day, a great weekend. I'll talk to you sometime soon. Thank you.